For today, I'm going to be going over the psychology of trading and technical analysis, just so therefore we kind of get you guys going in the right direction to make money in the stock market. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is, I'm known as the Portfolio Plug. So anytime that you see me in the Discord, Junior, that's me, right? So for those that's tuning in on YouTube, because this is going to be on a replay, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And then for those that's in our Discord, welcome, right? So I hope you are able to take away a lot today. I hope you are able to learn a lot. And then after, I'm going to go do a round of questions to answer all your questions that you have. All right, so let's get going. All right, so what and why options trading, right? So like why, let me minimize this screen. Like why options trading, right? Right now with all that's going on in the economy, for example, yesterday and this morning, Fed Chair Powell, he is head of the central bank, right? So he presented the semi-annual monetary report to the U.S. Senate banking, right? And then something that he said was that interest rates are more likely to rise more than expected, more than previously expected at a faster pace. And we have a long ways to go until inflation comes down, and it's going to be a bumpy ride to the 2% inflation. In other words, we're going to be in a deep and long recession. And as he's going to continue to increase the interest rates, which this morning he confirmed earlier today, that unemployment is going to rise, right? Because of the interest rate increasing, right? As a result, there are going to be about 2 million people that are going to lose their jobs, right? So therefore, we need to find another way where we can get another source of income, where we can get some money to come in, right? And if your job is not staying up with inflation, you're not getting a raise, right? So in some ways, you're losing money. Or so therefore, you have to find ways to make money in the market right now. Find ways to make money in general in the whole economy. So this is why option trading, right, is a good avenue for you to make some money. You don't have to be in the market 9 to 5. Like, so therefore you can make your money in a short period of time, right? It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? An hour, a day, right? A week. It all depends on what kind of trader you are, whether you're a day trader, swing trader, all up to you, right? I do both. I day trade and I swing trade. So therefore I'll make my money on average. A typical trade will last about 5-10 minutes, right? And then I'm in a day trade. And if I swing trade, I normally swing towards the end of the market. And then I'm holding it overnight. Swing trading is when you hold it overnight for the following day, right? So options trading allows you to do all that. So say if you're holding for a long term, right? Right now, because the market is down, you're not really getting a return. You have to hold it for a very long time. However, when you're options trading, you don't have to hold it for a long time. You can make your money and have a higher potential for return in a short period of time. Like, for example, say if you buy the S&P 500, on average, you're looking at 10 to 15% return yearly. But if you can literally get in a trade, right, and then be out literally in that same day, making 15 to 20%. Still, you still want to invest for the long term. But if you're looking to beat inflation right now, if you're looking to have another source of income, options trading is the way to go. All right. Put this lower. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right. So when it comes to options trading, right? Your mindset, that's going to be big. So psychology of trading, right? So traders normally see big money because, well, people in general, you normally see big money because of traders that they flash money on IG, YouTube, TikTok, all these different things, how you can make a lot of money, right? Granted, you can. There's nothing wrong with any of that, right? However, what new traders do, they think they can just go into the market and make that big money, right? So therefore, they're chasing big returns. And because they're chasing big returns, they'll end up losing and blowing their accounts, right? And that's because they're looking for fast overnight success. When it comes to options trading, you want to have a long-term mentality, right? And the reason why you want to have a long-term mentality is because think of it as you're making money day by day, right? And if you're making money day by day, it's going to add up. If you try and make a big chunk this one day, right, and then that trade works against you, that means you're going to lose that money. Therefore, that's going to be the fastest way for you to lose your account, right? So we want to think long-term and be consistent. Think about every day being green. A question that I get asked every day is, hey, how many day trades, how many trades are you sending out a day, right? And what I always tell everyone is, I don't plan how many trades that I get into for the day. I just think about being green for the day. So whatever the setup is, whatever happens is what I will get into, right? But my plan is not to get in a certain amount. It's just about being green and making profits little by little. So therefore, I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm forcing something, where mentally, right, I'm trading based on my emotion, because if something go wrong, I'm going to go back and try to make that up, right? So say if you're like, hey, I need to get into 5 trades today, right? And you lose 4 trades, does it make sense to even go into the 5th trade? No, right? So it all depends on, like what the price action, all these different things that come into it, right? And I'm going to show you some different things as well. But overall, you want to think long-term. You want to have some rules set for yourself and you want to stick to it. You have to be very disciplined, right? Very disciplined, because trading can be an addicting thing. The hardest thing to do for a trader is to not trade. That means to sit on their hands and like go cash, right? So for example, today, right, there was a lot of things going on in the economy, right? You had Fed Chair Powell speaking, right, before the Senate Banking Committee. We had economic data that came out at 10 a.m., right, regarding its unemployment change. And we had economic data that came out at 8 a.m. So the price action was just choppy. So therefore, it was just moving sideways. Matter of fact, let me show you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Pull up today's price action just so you can get an idea, see what I'm talking about. All right, so let me know if you can see the chart, the screen. Let me put that one. Just write in the chat, yes, if you can see it. Just want to make sure you guys are seeing it. It should be in the Thinkorswim, should be showing SPY right now. Let's see. All right, awesome. All right, so today's price action, I'm going to just show you something. All right, so I'm going to pull up today's price action. All right, so this is what literally all day today, this is what the market did, just move sideways. So this tells me there's no specific direction, right? Being that there's no specific direction, you're going to get screwed for calls or puts depending on where you get them. And the reason why is because this is chop, right? There was a lot that was happening. There was lower volume in the market, so therefore you can't get any decisive move, right? So days like today, this is the day where you want to kind of sit cash, right? This is the day where you want to be disciplined, right? This is the day where you want to stick to your plan, your rule, where it's like, hey, right, if it's too choppy, don't get into it, right? So there are like certain things that I wanted to get into, but it just didn't work out because of how the price action. So let me just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to share. New share. All right, so I'm going to share in Discord, right? So for example, this morning I was looking at getting in a couple of trades, right? But this was the price action this morning. This was the price action this morning. So every time I was getting ready to get in a trade, literally the price action didn't hold. So we had a lot of false breakouts, reversals, so it was all over the place. But I stuck to my plan because going into the day, I already said, hey, if it gets too choppy, I don't plan on trading, right? So therefore, because I knew exactly what was happening, and that's what happened. And then right here, if you can look, this is the volume right here. So like, for example, right, Tesla normally trades with about 2 million. Yesterday morning was trading in 3 million, right? This morning was trading about 200,000, and then after Apple, 94,000. On average, Apple normally trades with about 1 million, 2 million, right? But this morning was trading with 94,000. That's in terms of the options volume. So therefore, the amount of contracts being exchanged. That's what the option volume represents, right? And you want to get into stocks that have high volume. So if there's not a lot of volume, there's choppiness in the market, you have to be able to kind of follow your plan and stick with it, right? Now I'm going to share, go back to this screen. All right, so set some rules for yourself, right? think long-term, and you want to treat it like it's a job, right? You want to treat it like it's a job. So like, for example, right? The minimum wage in the US is $7.25. $7.25, right? And the national average, right, is $11. That means the national average people being paid is $11, right? So if you think about it, right, that means that's $88 daily, $444 weekly, $1,760 monthly. That's $21,000 a year. That's not a lot of money, but depending on who you are or where you live, it can be a lot of money, right? But if you look at it, right, $11 an hour, that's $88 a day. There's 250 days, trading days in the year. So if you have in your mind automatically to try and make $100 a day, so if you have a small account, $1,000, right, $100 a day, that's very doable. $100 a day, now you're looking at $25,000 a year, right? Literally $200 a day, right? If you can make $200 a day, that's $50,000 a year. $400 a day, that's $100,000 a year. So you have to think long-term, making little by little, day by day about being green. Because if you're trying to make all that money in the beginning, the likelihood is you're going to lose your money. But if you stay consistent, right? Because what you want to do, you want to be able to replace your job, because everyone is looking for another source of income, right? So you want to be able to replace your job, and you can certainly make more. If you have more money, you'll put more money in. So as opposed to $100 a day, if you, instead of using like a small account, say if you have $100,000 you're using, or say if you have $20,000, $10,000. So therefore you can make that money, right? So think of it about being profitable, making little by little each day. That's how you're going to get to your goal, right? Because automatically, just $100 a day, you're beating the national average at $11. You're beating national. And say if you make $20 an hour, right? $20 an hour, that's $160 a day. That's $800 a week. That's $3,200 a month, and about $38,400 a year. So with just $200 a day, you'll still make more than that at $50,000 a year, right? So if you have a bigger account, you can look about $1,000 a day, right? So there's so much possibility, right? Granted, there may be some losses here and there, right? But if you're consistently winning, there's no reason why you can't replace your income over time. You just have to have that start with the end goal in mind. Right. So now we're going to go into some technicals, right? So for technicals, just some basics is you just need overall, you need to understand bulls, bears. We hear that all the time, bullish, bearish, right? And I'm going to show you when it comes to charting, right? Figuring out if something's a bullish trend or a bearish trend. I'm going to show you how to look at that as well, right? So bullish, right? A bullish sentiment, it refers to, you know, the belief that you think the stock is going to go up, right? Or the stock is going up. That's a bullish sentiment. So that comes from the bulls striking the horns up. So when the bull, as you can see, right here, strikes its own up, that signifies bullish. So when the stock is going up, that's bullish. Bearish, right? That's when the stock is going down, right? And then that's because of the bear's paw when it gets ready to strike. So bullish and bearish. So I'm going to show you real quickly on the chart how you would be able to determine that if you just look, right? So what you want to do anytime that you are charting or just looking at in general, figuring it out. We're going to go into the big time frame, right? Let's go to 10-year, right? So you want to start from left to right, whether it's up or down, depending on where it opened, right? So left to right, and just draw a line to where the current price is. That will this right here tells me this is a bullish stock. Say if the stock started from here to go down, this right here tells me it's bearish, bullish, bearish. It's as simple as that. Literally as simple as that, right? So most of you guys know that already. And some of you who don't know what that is, right? That's how you would do it, right? And then the next, right, we have candlesticks, right? So before you can get into any trade, before you can understand the price action, you need to understand the basics, how to read a candlestick, right? So what we have here, this is the real body, right? This is the real body of the candlesticks, whether it's bearish right here or bullish, it's still the real body, right? So this means, this is a bearish candle. So right here is where the stock opens. Right here is where the stock opens, right? And then this is the high of the day, or this is the high, whether it's a 1 minute candle, hour candle, or daily candle. This is the high of the candle. This is also known as the wick or the shadow, right? And then this right here is the low, right? That's the shadow as well, the wick. This is the low, and then this is where it closes at. You need to be able to understand how to look at the candles, because you can't chart if you don't know, right, what the candles mean. If you don't know if you don't understand the simple basics, right? So again, for bearish, right, you want to open here, and when it comes down, right, this is your close. So open here. So this would be the high, right? And then it came down to the low, and then the candle closed right here, right? And then this is the real body. And then for a bullish candle, right, you start at the bottom. You start at the bottom here, right? So what happened here, this was the low. It opened here, and then this was the low. And then it went up to the high here, and then closed right here. Again, it opened right here, went down to the low, and then all the way up here, that's the high, and then it closed over here. All right, so let's take a look at it in the charts. So let's take a look at the candle, all right? Let's clear it. So we're going to look at this candlestick right here, right? So this is the S&P 500 I'm looking, right? So it opened right here, right here. This is where it opened, right? This was the high. So right now we're looking at the weekly. So this is a weekly candle, right? So therefore it opened right here. This was the high, $333. This was the low, and then it closed right here. So it opened here, so bearish, so therefore the candle should be going down. Bullish, the candle's going up. So this is a bearish candle, bearish candlestick. So open here, went up to the high of the wick right here, also known as the shadow, and then came down to the low, and it closed right over here. So over here, same thing. It opened at right here. It went down a little here, right? And then this was the high. This is the high, right? And then this closed right here. So say it open here, right? So it went high, and then the bears took control, brought it all the way down here, and then ended up closing right here. All right. So now let's take a look at a bullish candle, right? It opened here. So always think for a candle, for bullish, it has to go up. For bearish, it's going down. All right. Bullish, the candle's going up. It's green. Bearish, the candle's going down. So it opened over here. All right. This was the low. Right. So it opened right here. And then the bears started taking control. And then the bull stepped in. Right. Drove it up to over here. And then it closed right here. So one more time. Right. So it opened right here at the $257.59, right? And then the bears was taking control, went down to $248. And then the bulls stepped back in, drove it up to $281, and ultimately closed at $278. That's how you'd read the candlesticks, right? And then this one, let's take a look at it as well, right? So this funny looking candlestick, right? So it opened right here, right? This is where it opened. It went up to the high here. The bulls was in control. And then the bears stepped in, drove it down right here, and then it closed right over here. All right. So now let's go into the next one. So next thing we have is Doji candlesticks, right? So these for Doji candlesticks, what you're gonna see, right, it pretty much, it's when the close and the open are virtually the same, right? So when the close and the open, they're virtually the same, right? That's a doji candlestick. So it's literally they're literally right at each other, right? And whenever you see these candlesticks, that normally signifies there's a reversal coming. Anytime that you see these candlesticks, that means there's some form of reversal that's about to happen, right? So whether it's bullish or bearish, right? So as you let's take a look at the common doji, right? So pretty much open here, lower here, all right? So if you think, look right here. So open here, this was the low, this was the high, and this was the close, right? So right here at the open, went up to the high, then the bears took control, brought it down to the low, then the bulls took control, brought it back right there. That's a doji, right? That's a common doji, right? A long-legged doji, that's when you'll see a big candlestick, like the really long ones, right? So pretty much all it is, again, it opened right here, right? The bulls took control, and then the bears stepped in, drove it down over here, and then ultimately closing right here. Now we have a gravestone doji, right? Opened right over here, right? It opened right here, and then the bulls took control, drove it up here, and then the bears took control again, brought it down here, and then ultimately closing here, right? That right here is a gravestone doji. Then you have pretty much just flipped over. It's the dragonfly doji, right? So it opened up here, went up to the high, right? Then the bears took control, bringing it back down, and then the bulls took control, and then closed right here. So open here, it went up to the high, and then it went back down, and then ultimately ended up closing right here, right? So let's look and see if we can find some dojis. Let's pull up the chart. Right. So right here, let me find a good one for you guys. Hold on, let me look for a good one. This looks like this one right here. Let me zoom out. All right, so I don't know if you can see right here. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Let me zoom out. All right, they're so tiny. All right, so right here, right? So as you can see, we started going down, right? So the open would be right over here, right? It went up to the high. This is this little small candlestick right here. This little small candlestick right here, right? So it opened right here. Remember, they're pretty much the open and the close is pretty much virtually the same, right? So most of the time you see it, there's a reversal happening. So like right here, we started going down, right? So right here, the stock opened, right? And then right where it opened pretty much was the high. And then it ended up coming down to the low and then came right back here, right? And then you had the doji here, and that's when you see a move to the upside, right? So you think it was going down, and then right here, this doji, you got a little reversal going right back up. So with the doji, it opened here, right? Right where it opened, it went up to the high, and then went back down to the low, and then closed literally. It looks literally like a little cross. That's just, it's like very tiny, right? That's literally what it is, right? And then say if this was like a big one, a very long one, that would be, you'd be looking at a long-legged doji. So this one is just a simple common doji right here, a simple common doji, right? Let's see, there's not a lot of them. Yeah, let's try a different time frame, see if I can find some more for you guys. Let's try the 1 hour. Man, the price action just all over the place. So it makes it challenging to see anything this week. Let's see. All right. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of dojis happening. Yeah, there's not much. There's not much, guys. Yeah. Okay, there's one right here. There's a little one right here. So as you can see right here, right? There we go. This is a long-legged one right here. This would be a common one. This would be a long-legged one right here, right? So we would open right here, right? Right, this little candle right here that you see, right? These two candles. This is the common doji, and this is the long-legged doji right here. This is the long-legged doji, right? So we would open right here, right? Went up, the bulls was in control, and then the bears stepped in, drove it back down, and then we closed here, right? So you'd think we'd go down, and then as you can see, you saw a move right here to the upside, right? All right, so let's go into the next one. Let's see. Right, so the next thing that we have, right, so I'm going to show you guys some high probability setups, things that I use that I make money in the stock market, and that I highly recommend that you use for yourself. So these are the setups that I look for. These are the patterns that I look for, right? So I hope you guys are taking notes. So right here, these are some high probability setups, right? The first one we're looking at, right, is the pin bar. We have a bearish pin bar and we have a bullish pin bar, right? So what it is, what you'll see right here, right? So you'll see the big candle. This is the green candle, right? So pretty much we opened right over here. This was the low. The bulls are in control, right? We went up a high here and then we closed here. Then the bears stepped in, right? The bears stepped in, right? Right? But right over here, if you notice, we went up, the bulls was in control, bears stepped in, drove it back down, and then we closed here. As you notice, this big candle took over right here, right? And then we have a bearish pin bar. So the bearish pin bar, it forms when the buyers, right, start the session in control, but the price reaches a level that's rejected and the sellers take over and dominate the remainder of the session. So it will close near or at the lows, right? So if you notice, this was the low right here. So let me say that again, right? So the bearish pin bar, it forms when the buyers start the session in control, right? But the prices reach a level, it'll get rejected. So the buyers, they start in control, right? And the price reaches a level, they'll get rejected. The sellers take over, right? And then they'll dominate the remainder of the session. So you're looking at a bearish pin bar. This is one of the top setups that I look for, right? And let me show you guys. I'm going to pull up the screen just so you can see. This was a perfect setup that I actually caught the other day. No, yesterday. All right, so let's look at the daily. Did I get it in the daily? Oh, did I catch it in the weekly? Let's see, pull up the daily. Okay, it was in the daily. All right. So this was it right here, right? This was the perfect bearish pin bar. And I ended up, what did I make on that? All right, so I'm just going to show you guys. All right, so let me share. Right here. So this was a swing trade that I got into, right? So this was a swing trade that I got into for the SPY $385 call at 82 cents. And then I ended up making, what was it again? Let's scroll down. So this was it right here, right? So I made 31% on that. 31% on that, right? And let's see, I think I showed the price action, what I was looking at too. This was it right here as it was forming. This is when I sent out what I told the guys what I was looking at. If you notice right here, right, I'm going to share the other screen again, just so you can see. This was a swing trade. Pin bars are great for swing trading. It is one of the best setups you can use for swing trading, right? So for those that have a 9 to 5 and you don't have the time to trade all day or anytime during the day, right? You look at doing swing trades, look for pin bars, right? Look for pin bars. They're like a high probability, I'd say 85, 90% of the time, they'll get you some money, right? So I'm just kind of show you guys again, right? Exactly what it is, just so you can see. All right. So right here, this is the candle. This was exactly what I was looking at right here, right? It opened here, all right? Went to the low, bulls are in control. All right, it went to a high here, closed here, and then you look at, you have this little bearish. You see this right here? Same thing. You see the candle, the wick. Anytime that you see this, it normally signifies a reversal is coming, right? So what happened? A reversal. If you look right here, it's a big bearish candle, right? So now let's look at the chart again, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So this was the setup right here. This was the day before yesterday. I sent out the swing trade signal. This was the bearish pin bar right here. So as you can see, it opened right here, it closed here, right? And then same thing, it opened at the high here. It opened right here and then went up high here, came back down to the low, and then right here told us it was a reversal, right? It filled that gap over here, and you had a nice little reversal. You see that candle? That's what, right there, right? And then when you're doing these things, right, you want to look at the big time frames, not the small time frame for this specific setup. You want to look at the 4-hour. You want to look at the daily time frames, right? These are the ones that you're going to get the biggest move because you're swing trading, right? So you don't want to look at the hourly. You're swing trading. So therefore, you're holding it overnight. You're holding it for days. This setup normally, this is a 1-day candle right here. This is another day candle right here. So I caught it right over here before this, like right literally, right? So you want to look at the big time frames, 4 hours, 1 day to catch the setup, right? And then for the bullish pin bar, all it would be the opposite, literally. So all it would be is this would be red, right? And this would be green, and this would be down here. And that would be a bullish pin bar, right? So I didn't catch a bullish pin bar, I caught a bearish pin bar. I don't have one as an example, but literally there would be the opposite of this. If you just flip it around, that's what you'll have, right? And then you remember to use the time frames, the 4-hour, the daily. And this is great if you're looking to swing trade, if you don't have that much time to scalp, right, and get into day trades. This right here is a money maker, right? And then that's how I was able to make some money here. I made 31%, right? Made 31% on the SPY because that was the setup I used. And for those that are new, that this is the first time that you're jumping on here, right? And it just kind of help you guys, right? In here, if you don't know how to options trade, right? This is literally watch the videos, right? And I'm also, this video, I'm going to put it out as well on YouTube from the guys that are following YouTube. So make sure, you check this video out and then subscribe, right? But all the videos are here to help you learn. So if you don't know how to options trade, it's there for you already. And I'm already doing the webinars, which I am right now, right? And the prior one, so weekly webinars, right? So many different options for you to learn. All right. So we have the weekly webinars, we have the videos, and we have the watch list, right? So the watch list, literally, I let you know what to get into. The stocks, I do the work for you. I literally do the work for you. This takes about an hour or two just to find the best setups in the market. These are the prices that I use myself. I'm going to show you. Literally, these are the same prices that I send out in the watch list. These are the prices that I use myself. So you are getting the exact prices of what to get into these trades at, right? And then for those that are on YouTube, I'll leave the link in the description, right? And then for you guys, you're in here so you can see it already, right? So watch the videos teaching you how to options trade, and it's also be on my YouTube channel as well. And then come to the weekly webinars and then use this to your advantage. And if that's still not enough for you, all this free thing just to show you how to do it for yourself, right? If that's still not enough, mind you, I'm trying to teach you how to fish, do all this on yourself, so you don't even need my services, right? If that's still not enough, then schedule a one-on-one session, right? And then the one-on-one session will be able to go even more in depth. And the one-on-one session is $110, right? That one is not for free because it will be a 1-hour Zoom call with me and you answering any question, whether it's teaching you how to use Think and Swim, whether it's like literally whatever you can think of. Whatever you want to know, like I'm all yours for that hour, teaching you whatever you want to know. Like whether it's investing through stock market as a long-term investor, setting up your budget to building your portfolio, understanding risk management. Literally, it's all the different strategies that I use. all there for you, right? And then the alerts, if you want to get the alerts are not in here, right? Because I'm already giving you everything for free to teach you how to do everything, and I'm already on here teaching you how to do everything already. To get the alerts, you would have to upgrade. And for those that are watching that are not in the server, all right, what you can do when you do get in the server, you can take a look at the testimonials and scroll and see for yourself, right? So this server, I've had it since 2020, right? I just turned it into a paid subscription last year. So for 2 years straight, I was sending out free alerts. For 2 years straight, I was sending out free alerts from 2020, right? When the pandemic started, right? So I was trying to figure out a way to help others literally for the 2 years because everyone was losing their jobs. So I was like, hey, I'm making money already. I do this for myself. I work for myself. I'm a full-time trader. Why not help and send out some signals? And then literally for 2 years, so you can scroll up and see everything for yourself, right? Because I know there's probably gonna be some people who think, is this legit? Is this scam? So you'll be able to have the option to see everything for yourself, right? And then for the signals, if you want to get the signals, all you would do, you'd click on the upgrade. You can do a 7-day free trial where you'll be able to see it for yourself, right? And I'll do a quick showing before I continue as well, right? And then the monthly subscription is $39.95, very affordable, right? Very doable. There's a lot of servers that are charging $152, over $200, right? And this is $39.95. And then the yearly, you're looking at $349, right? Literally, you're looking at about $130 saving, and that's a steal, right? So once you upgrade, you're going to get 2 emails. The first email is going to be the receipt, right? The second email is going to be the link to the server. You have to authorize the memberful bot so you can get access to the server. And I still have all the stuff in here for you. The beginner's guide, right? Frequently asked questions, brokers that you can use, right? Education, everything is there for you, right? And then I'm still sitting at the watch list, but the watch list is more in depth because now I'm letting you know what your position size should be, what the day is looking like in pre-market. So therefore, in terms of what, hey, are you going to over leverage, right? So not to, so like, for example, this morning, if you look at it, right, the price action was moving sideways. So automatically, I knew this was going to be a choppy day. So I'll let our guys know in advance what the kind of day it was going to be. As you can see here, good morning, pre-market is very mixed. We have economic data coming out early this morning. We have another one coming out at 10 a.m. Plus we have the Fed chair speaking at 10, so it literally is an action-packed morning. Keep your risk position size low today, right? So I'll let you know everything in advance. And when it comes time, right, to get into these trades, right, I'll let you know what I'm looking for. So therefore, you're not lost. You understand why we're going to get into the trades, right? So you know exactly what setups I'm looking at, right? I show you every data, everything there. And then when it comes time, I give you a heads up with the specific contracts that I'm looking to get into. So therefore, you can have your contracts ready. So you can have your contracts ready to get into the trade with me, right? And then I'll send out the signals, which I'll come into the day trade signals. I'll send out the signal. And if you notice, every signal that I send out, I make sure that it's affordable and small account friendly. So I never send anything out that's over $1.30. I don't send anything out that's over $130. Why? So it can be a small account friendly. And if you want to spend more money, you can just buy more contracts. And I find the best contracts that have the tightest spreads with the highest probability for you to make money. So as you notice, this is $84. So if you multiply one options contract by one option contract equals 100 shares, because you can exercise your options contract, right? So you have to multiply this by 100. So this would be $84 you pay just to get into this trade. This is $108, $105, $85, $95. Literally, all these trades are affordable to get into. And after I send out the signal, I come in here and I keep you posted and updated with what's happening with the signal minute by minute. So therefore, there's no reason why you don't know what's going on. I let you know when you should be taking profits. I literally let you know when you should be taking profits. Right? So therefore, you're not lost. I'm showing you the price action as we are in the trade. I let you know what your sell, your stop level should be, right? Everything is there for you. So like, for example, here, right? 98 cents. This was the contract, right? As the contract is moving, this is 9:45, right? Out of the trade by 9:49. That was 4 minutes in the trade. 4 minutes in the trade. All right. And I'm literally telling you, I'll let you know when to leave a trail stop. That's when you're in profit. You want to guarantee profits. It's all there for you, right? It's just a quick scroll so you guys can see everything, right? I don't think I've lost in the past like 2 or 3 weeks. And out of like 34 trades, probably lost like 4 or 5. my hit rate is over 85%. Let me just scroll up just so you guys can see for yourself, right? Another one, another one, all right, another one, another one. All right, there we go. It's a small loss right here. This was the last time we had the Fed meeting. I got stuck in the chop, right? And then I think I had 2 losses that day. It should be up here. There it is, right? 14%. If you notice my losses, right? You want to make sure your losses are small. That's all, right? And your wins, you want it to be bigger, right? So this was Amazon. So we can scroll up, keep going. Literally, we can go all day and you'll be able to see, right? And then to get access, the link is in the bio, right? Or the link will be in the description on YouTube, right? So I'm going to go back. Oh, and for my long-term traders, no, not for my long-term investors, all you would do right here, I'll let you know when I'm looking to load the boat, when I'm looking to buy for the long term, everything is in here for you. So I did not forget about you. All right. And now let me just pull back to the presentation. All right. So let's go into the next one. All right. So the next high probability setup that I look for, right, is bull flags. Right. So these setups, the first one, right, the pin bars, right, these are the setups that these are literally the patterns that I look for in the market. These are the patterns that I look for daily. There's a lot more patterns that are out there, but these are the ones that I consistently see and I consistently make money off of, right? So these are the ones you should be looking for, right? And I'm going to explain what they are specifically, right? Where do you put the stops? You can adjust the stop loss, right? You'll have to look at the prices. I'll show you an example, right? I'll show you an example how I know where my stop is, right? So I'm going to explain it and then I'll show you an example of how, right? So right now, right, this is a bull flag, but so a bull flag, what it is just a bullish trend, right? The stock is moving up, bullish trend. This is the flagpole, right? So what happens is it'll resemble the flagpoles right here, right? So you have a strong uptrend and you'll get a continuation, right? So you get the uptrend and then you'll run into a resistance and they'll start to form this channel, right? When it forms this channel, these 2 lines, right? You have to wait for it to break here, right? You have to wait for it to break here to go. And then what you would do is you would set a resistance line right here where the originally got stopped at. So it would be right over here. So normally anytime I enter a bull flag, I'll wait for it to cross here. So this right here signifies the breakout. We're about to get a breakout. This right here is the confirmation. So as you can see over here, right, the stock right here forms this like this pole. And then right here, you have the flag. This right here is your breakout. The stop loss, you can use the stop loss as the bottom, right? And I'll show it to you on the chart so it can look a little bit more, like, so it can make more sense so you can understand it, right? And then you want to buy up here, right? And then you want to your stop loss at the bottom. You wait for the breakout. This is be your confirmation. So I'm going to pull up a bull flag. Let's see. Share. So let's look for a bull flag. I got a couple. Let's see. I'm gonna just kind of show you. Let's look for a couple of bull flags that I caught in here. Let's see. This one right here. All right. So this was a bull flag I caught on Amazon, right? So if you notice, started going in this channel right here. My stop right here. Normally what you'll see for the stop, there'll be like a resistance. So there was like, because this was in a 1 minute, I can't go that far back in a 1 minute, but say if it was like in a daily or like at the couple hours, right, in an hourly, you'd be able to, right? But pretty much I'll get my support level. I'll look to see the prior resistance from the resistance from the prior price action, right? It'll let me know. You'll see like a big support right here. So say if I were able to draw a line right here, if you notice this right here acts as resistance. So that means this resistance, there was something that was over here in this side. That was a major resistance. So literally it just came down to right over here as the main resistance. Because if you notice this right here, this was a support. This right here was the resistance. And then right here, this is where it bounced off and kind of moved sideways, but it never got lower than that. right? So it didn't break the channel. If it had broken the channel, then therefore, all right, this is a failure. The setup is not valid. However, right, I could have also made this even a little tighter as well, right? But I wanted to play it a little bit safer because the price action was very choppy in the market, right? But if I wanted to, right, say if I felt a little bit more comfortable and we didn't have so much chop, I would have kept it a little bit tighter right around here. But I played it extra safe, right? So I brought it up here, right? The top resistance, and then boom, it was a bull flag. Caught a nice little bull flag right here, right? Let's see if I can find another one. This one, this is not the bull flag, but I'll show you guys what that one is, right? So now the opposite of a bull flag, let's see if I can, just in case, let's see if I can find one more bull flag for you guys. Let's see here. There it is. So this was another bull flag that I caught, right? So it was developing, right? This was on Tesla. I think it was, right here. Just want to make sure. All right. So right here, Tesla, right here, it was forming a bull flag. All right. It started forming a bull flag. If you notice right here, 200, right here, this 206 line, this was the top of the bull flag. So this is the channel, right? It's running up. It started forming this channel, right? And while it's forming this channel, right? If you notice, I said, hey, Tesla is forming a bull flag, right? Be ready for possible calls, right? So I'm watching it. I'm waiting for the breakout, right? So it just broke out, right? This was it right here. It broke out of it, right? So you should notice right here, that's why I was waiting over here, right? I was waiting for it to break that resistance. So say if it was going to cross, this was a bull flag right here, right? And now let's take a look at some bear flags. Let's go back. Right, so now this is a bear flag, the opposite of a bull flag, right? So again, guys, these are high probability setups that I use every day to make money in the stock market. High probability setups every day. This is what I use to make money in the stock market, right? And those that are in my Discord, the premium server, I let you guys know that all the time, so you see it for yourself, because I show you the chart as it's developing, right? So right here, what we have is a bear flag, right? So all it is the opposite, right? What you'll have a strong downtrend, right? This is your downtrend forming right here, the pole. And then it'll hit a support, and then it'll start going within this channel. And as soon as it breaks this channel, now you have a breakout to the downside, right? You have a breakout to the downside. You can wait for a safer entry once it's right here, right? Or you can look to enter over here. Ideally, for me, depending on the market condition, I like to wait for an ultimate breakout right here. Because as you notice right here, it ended up forming a little bit of support before ultimately coming down, right? So this right here is a bear flag. Same thing over here. A perfect example of a bear flag, right? So you have a strong downtrend, a strong move. It's forming your flagpole. And then right here is the flag. Right here is the flag. So it stays within this channel. It stays within this channel, and then you have a downtrend, right? So let's look at some bear flags for you guys. Let's find some bear flags. All right, so those caught a lot of bear flags recently. All right, so this was one right here was developing. All right, so this right here, right? This was on the 28th. So Tesla was going down, right? So it had an instant drop, as you guys see right here. It was moving sideways, right? I already had Tesla planned, right? It was in my watch list, right? I had Tesla planned for my prices to get in, right? And it was moving sideways, and I was waiting for my entry, right? And I was waiting for my entry, this right here. So originally, this was supposed to be my entry. However, because it was moving choppy and sideways, I wanted to play it a little bit safe. And I was like, I wanted to wait for a confirmation, right? But we had a sudden drop. When we had the sudden drop right here, as you can see, this was supposed to be my entry right here, right? And then we had a sudden drop. It broke it, but it drops too fast, so I wasn't able to get in, right? Because it ended up becoming oversold too fast. So like, as you can see right here, it just broke out of the downtrend chop for an instant drop, now oversold. We'll wait for another possible entry, right? So I was waiting, right? Mind you, I had already given you the heads up that I'm looking to get into Tesla puts as it's happening. This is literally a high probability setup. This is literally as it's happening. I'm letting you know what's happening, right? So it starts to form it again. Literally, as you can see. So this was the beginning of it right here. This was the beginning as it's happening, right? I'm letting you know as it's happening, guys. It's in the server, right? As it's happening, and then right here, it starts to form it. Perfect bear flag. It's a beauty, right? It's a freaking beautiful setup right here. So this is like a 90% probability setup right there, right? So this was the rest of the market. It was very choppy, right? Let me get back. So this is Tesla, right? Ended up forming like 2 or 3 bear flags, and I got into it 2 times, right? So ended up breaking out, right? And I got into it like 2 or 3 times. I sent out the signal. All right, let's see, Tesla 28th right here. So this was the signal to profits right here. And then I got into it again. All right, it's like literally, these are the setups that I look for, right? So let's scroll down. Let's go look for Tesla, right? So I'm going to show you just so you can see. And then again, like I was telling you guys, this is my server. If you want to access these alerts, you have to upgrade, right? And the way that you would have to upgrade is just click on here. You can do a free trial to see it for yourself and get these alerts and make some money. So therefore, you can be able to afford this, which I think it's highly, very, very affordable, $39.95, right? In comparison to what's out there, right? And then you get access to these to the trade. So this was Tesla, right? I even showed it in here as well too. All right. As you can see, right, caught Tesla on a second bear flag. Caught Tesla on a second bear flag. Ended up forming 2 bear flags. Ended up forming 2. Let's look at the time stamp on it, right? So we got 10:17, got out at 10:20. So this was 3 minutes. This was the first bear flag, right? The second bear flag, right? Let's see. 124, 6 minutes, 8% in 6 minutes. I'll take that. All right. And literally, I'm telling you guys, this is high probability. I catch Tesla. If you notice, if you pick a couple stocks, you'll realize they do the same things over and over again. So stocks that you'll see me trade regularly, Tesla, NVIDIA, right? Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, SPY, QQQ. So, and I caught these on the 1 minute time frame. So what I'm looking at is the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frames, right? So for day trading, right, I'm looking at the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame because I'm looking to, I'm looking to literally get into the trade and make my money within that 5 minutes, right? Within that 10 minutes, right? As you can see, 9:57, I got out this trade at 10:03 and I made 36% on this, right? So that's the time frame. And I'm looking at the 1 hour, right? So I have a bunch of different monitors, but you guys can't see it. But right, main time frames I'm looking at. All right, let me just share it just so you can kind of see how I'm just going to show you guys how my setup would be, how I'm finding these trades. All right, I'm just going to show you real quickly. So what I will do, right, I'll have this 1 minute. I'll have this right here. This is for Tesla. For Tesla. All right, so as you can see here, it's shown. Let's see, and let's go 5 minutes. All right, let's put my studies in there. All my indicators. Let's go. All right. So, right. So I'm literally looking at the 1 minute and I'm looking at the 5 minute. Let me take these off so you're not confused by all these marks. All right. So this is the 1 minute and this is the 5 minute. Literally, all I'm doing is looking at the 1 minute, looking for possible entries. Right. But when I'm charting in the morning, right before the market opens, I'm looking at the 1 hour time frames. I'm looking at the 1 hour time frames. I'm charting based on the 1 hour time frame, not the 1 minute time frame. I'm charting based on the 1 hour time frames, right? And then from the 1 hour time frame, when the market opens, right, I'm looking at the 1 minute and the 5 minute because you'll get bigger moves, right? Bigger moves for day trading. So day trading, 1 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour. You can use the 15, 30. Personally, I don't use it. I find that I get the best bang for my buck. I find that I do really well with the 1.5 and the 1 hour. So I'll chart with the 1 hour time frame, have my spots, right? Look for potential patterns, look for potential trends, look for the setups. And then I'll look at the 1 minute and the 5 minute as the trades are developing. And as I'm looking at the 1 hour, I'm seeing if it's developing within that 1 hour time frame, within those support resistance levels that I have set up. And the reason why, because you'll get a bigger move, and that's how I'm able to catch bigger moves like that. All right. And then that was, let's see if we can find a couple of bear flags again for you guys. Let's see here. So it's harder to see when you're in the 5 minutes or the 1 minute to go back. But hopefully, no, because you can only go back so far in the 1 minute and the 5 minutes. But as you guys saw before, literally, all right, where did I have it? Time frame, where was it again? Right here. All right, so it stayed within this channel, get a drop, and form the bear flag again, get another drop. So this is high probability. Stayed within the setup, right? Also, you don't have to have perfect lines, just because I know if you're new or just in general, you don't normally form channels, it doesn't have to be a perfect line. So literally, it could be something very simple. And let me show you real quickly how you would draw it, all right? So let me just show you real quickly how you'd set up the channel. Right, if you're using the Thinkorswim platform, I'm just going to show you real quickly. So all you would do at the top where it says drawing, all you would do, you come down here, go to drawing tools, and you want to go straight to that channel right here, and it'll do it for you, right? So literally, right, it'll do it for you, right? So for example, I'm just drawing it, but I'm just a random channel, right, just so you can see, right? Literally, it'll do it for you. You just adjust it. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you find your channel. So this is not any specific, I'm just showing you a channel, right? So this is not the pattern or anything like this. Is just the channel, how you do it. And all you do is go to drawing, and then you come in here, and then you click on here where it says channel, and that's how you would be able to form that channel. And that right there is what you have a bear flag. All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's see here. See, I think somebody just asked the question. Let me take a look at it as well. Let's see, what does it say? In the VIP, do we listen to your voice, or do you only post messages and signals in Discord, or share your screen? So I don't do the voice. I'm not doing the voice chat yet. However, what I am going to do at some point is do Zoom calls like the first hour that I'm trading, so everyone can see my screen as these things are happening. So like trading actually live, just like I'm on here Zoom live. What I plan on doing is on Zoom in the morning, the first hour from 9:30 to 10:30 or 9:30 to 11 o'clock, where I'm just going to be live. And then you can watch me as I get into these trades. I give the heads up and stuff like that, so you can see the plays as it's developed, what I'm looking for. All right. So literally, you'll be able to see everything, just like here, right? But pretty much even still, like as I give you all the different heads up and stuff like that, it literally, it's happening like, let me show you, right? As everything's happening, if you look, 10:27, right? Look at the timestamps, right? So literally, as these things are developing, I am literally texting you as it's happening. 10:28, 10:29, 10:32, right? Literally 10:36. So literally, as these things are happening, you're seeing it. I'm letting you know right in the money, like right in the spot. All right. Let's go back. Let's see. All right. So next thing we have my other high probability setup, right, is the bullish pennant. I hope you guys are writing these setups down because these are golden. This is what I use every day in the market. Easiest ways for you to make money. Easiest, right? So time frame that I use these, 1 minute, 5 minute, right? So bear flags, bull flag, pennants, 1 minute, 5 minute. That's the time frames that I'm looking at them for, right? For swing trading, the pin bars, 4 hours, daily, weekly. That's what I'm looking at. All right. So for the bullish pennant, pretty much what it is just the pattern that it'll indicate a strong upward price move, right? So you'll have the flagpole. It looks very similar to the bull flag. However, it's going to form this little triangle. So you're going to start to see the price action get smaller and smaller and smaller, right? You're going to start to see the price action literally form this triangle like this, right? So what happens is you have the flagpole and it'll consolidate within this triangle, and then you'll get a breakout. Consolidate, and then you'll get a breakout right here. Consolidate, and this is a bullish pennant. High probability setups. And when I mean high probability, I'm talking about 85%, 90% chance of making money in these trades, right? And as I just showed you guys in the server, right, our win rate is 85%, literally consistently winning. I haven't lost a trade in over 2 weeks. And in the past, like 35, 40 trades, I've only lost about 5 trades. And that's because I'm using these setups in the 1 minute to 5 minute, right? So like use these things to your advantage, guys. I'm giving you free info of things that I use regularly to make money in the stock market, right? And this is not a course, literally, I'm giving it to you for free, right? I don't have any courses because I wanted to do it like this and educate you guys through the webinar. So take advantage of these setups and use it, right? So let's look for a bullish pennant now, right? I'm going to share my screen again for the other side. All right, let's go back. All right, let's see in the watch list. I caught it somewhere. All right, was it? I think this one. All right, it wasn't this one. No, let's like, let's look, scroll, let's find it. I had used, so I had caught that setup. Let's see, where was it? Might have been, yeah, I think it might have been this one. All right, so this was the 5 minutes I was looking at. So say if I was looking at the 1 minute, it would be spread a little bit further. But as you can see, the candles are a lot bigger in the 5 minutes, but I was doing it in the 1 minute. So it was coming down within this triangle and it ended up breaking out. So this was Amazon, right? So this was Amazon, right? I didn't draw the lines, but I'll do it the next time I catch it so you guys can see, right? But pretty much it was, if on the 1 minute, it's spread out a little further. And then you'll see the triangle coming into here and it's coming into here. And then you have the breakout, right? Let's see if I can find another one. That's a little bit more here. It's a bunch of bear flags here, a bunch of bear flags. I'm telling you guys, this was another bull flag. Let's see. And this is what we call chop, ugly price action, no direction. Let's see, pennant, where are you? Where are you, pennant? Caught this setup a while ago too. Okay, there we are. Right, man, I didn't draw the lines for you guys to see, but pretty much right here, right? So I had drawn it from here, and then this was right here. So it was the line coming from over here, as you can see, and then I had it going over here, and then it broke out. And this right here, so if you notice, right, I had this as like the breakout to enter. So this was NVDA, an NVDA call that I got into. All right, this was the NVDA call that I got into, and it ended up breaking out. Where was it at? Oh, I think it broke out, and then I got into the trade. I don't have the, but as you can see, literally it was getting ready for a big move to the upside. But we did make money on it. Where is it? Let's see, where's the NVDA? Let's see, NVDA. Is this it? Yeah, so that was a bullish pennant, right? Don't have as much examples because there's a lot more bull flags and bear flags, but when you see these setups with the bullish pennants, those are normally golden, but you'll get a lot more bull bear flags. And then, right, the other setup you'll get, pull it back up, right? Same thing, but going the opposite direction, you'll have a bearish pennant, right? Literally, you have the flagpole coming down, right? Forms that little triangle, and then you'll get a breakout, right? So this right here, that if you look at the triangle, you want it to break that channel. You want it to break the triangle. You want it to break that channel, right? And then this would be your breakout. If you want to be safe about it, this would be your entry. If you want to just wait for another confirmation, I normally like to go in the safe route, right? So I normally wait for it to break the main support, and then I'll enter, right? Versus trying to get the breakout. The reason why, because there are times they'll get rejected at the main support. So therefore I like to see, hey, right, can it hold? And if we get a bounce, I normally like to get in the second or third. So like what would happen, it'll bounce, it'll start to come up, and then it'll get rejected over here, come back down, and then it'll break. So that's the second time, right? Or it'll come back down again, bounce, and then it'll officially break it. As you can see here, right? So coming down, it starts to form this little channel, this little triangle, and then comes down, right? And that right there is a bearish pennant. All right. And then that's it for you guys. Do you guys have some questions? Let me see if I can take you guys off mute. Or you can type your questions in. So type your questions in if you have any questions. I can't hear you. I think somebody's talking. Oh, let's see. All right. All right. Let's see here. All right. Great stuff. All right. So it should be, you can unmute. I just hit the unmute thing so you can you guys hear? Can you, well, try to say something if you have some questions now so I can answer your questions, if that's faster. All right, so let's see the question secrets. Did you ever use Bookmap? No. Will you be posting this video? Yes. I'll be posting this video on my YouTube channel, and I'll also drop it in the Discord. Yeah, I'll also drop it in Discord. And then for all those that's going to be watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and make sure you join the Discord. I'll leave the link in the description below. And then those that are new that are tuning in tonight for this video, this webinar, make sure if you're not in that server, make sure you join our server, the premium server, right? $39.95, very doable. Or if you don't want to join the server, make sure you use the server to your advantage. All the free stuff that we have, with the watch list, with the videos, everything that's there for you guys. All right. And with that being said, I think I'm going to be jumping off unless there's any last remaining questions. Let's see. Can you say a little something about position sizing? Yes. So position size, what I like to do is, depending on what the market, so let me just kind of show you, right? I'm going to share, just kind of show you how to determine my position size. I'm going to reshare again. Right. So like, for example, the way that I'll determine my position size based on the price action in pre-market, right? And then based on the events that are going in the market. So like, for example, this morning, right, was pre-market watch list, right? Let's go lower. So I'm going to pre-market. Let's see. So this morning, like this was the price action, right? So what this told me was, right, we are getting choppy sideways price action. Something that you will notice is what the price action is in pre-market will be the price action by the end of the day, right? So if you look right here, this is the heat map, right? So I'm gonna pull up the heat map for you. By the end of the day, it pretty much looked the same, right? The stocks that were green, right, in pre-market, these are stocks that you'll see end up being more green. So therefore, it tells me what the move is for the day. It tells me what my based on that price action, it tells me how I should do my position. So the higher the risk, the more chop that I see, the lower my position size will be. All right. So the more chop that I see, the lower my position size would be based in the pre-market. And then based on the events that's going on in the market will determine my position size as well. So like with Fed Chair Powell talking today, right? So automatically I knew, right? I knew with Fed Chair talking, there was going to be lower volume in the market. And because there are lower volume in the market, that means we're going to get a lot more slower move and higher chop. Therefore, I am going to go lower risk for my position size. And then which is what I said over here, right? 10 a.m. all these different things, telling everyone to keep their position size low. And then depending on what your account size is, right? So say if you have a small account, right? So that can range from $1,000 to $5,000, right? Or even $10,000, right? So say if you have 10,000, let's use $10,000 as an example, right? So if you have $10,000, the way that you want to position it, right? You want to use about 10 to 15% of your account, 10 to 15% of your account per trade, right? So in the event, God forbid, if all else fails, the contract is fire worthless, you don't lose any more than 10 to 15% of your account. However, you're not going to let that happen because you're going to have a stop loss. It could be 15, 20%. I like to use a 15, 20% stop loss. But there are times, depending on what the price action is, depending on where my support levels is, right? It may be a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, where I'll go based on the price action, right? So 10 to 15% and the 15 and 20% stop loss. So say if you're using $1,000, that means technically you're only risking about 1 to 5% because you have that and you have your stop loss, right? So therefore you're pretty much protecting yourself. You're pretty much protecting yourself. All right, what was the other question? Best to catch the trends in the lower time frames? Yes. If you're looking at the 1 minute and the 5 minute, right? The bear flags, the bull flags, you're going to catch those in the 1 and 5 minutes, right? If you can get one of those in the big time frame, oh my God, that's going to be a beauty, right? But the smaller time frames, that you'll see them develop a lot. And for the pin bars, right, you'll see that develop in the big time frames. You want to look at those on the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, because those are what you want to use for the swing trades, right? And then go and make money on it. That's pretty much it. Yes, for the Dojis, yes, you want to look at those. Yes, correct. All right, guys. So I'm going to jump off now. All right. I hope you guys have a great evening, a great night, great afternoon, depending on when you're tuning in, or a great morning. Thank you for joining in with me today. All right. And don't forget, all right, don't forget if you're on YouTube, right, or if you're watching a replay and then this is your first time seeing this, right, use the videos that I have here to teach you how to options trade, right? And I'm going to drop the recording in here as well for those that didn't get a chance to see it, right? And then use the free educational webinar, which is what I'm on right now. Every week, it's for free, literally teaching you everything. And then use the watch list to your advantage with the prices that I set up, right? And then you can set up a one-on-one coaching here and to upgrade to get the alerts, right? For me, literally to hold your hand, all you do is just click on the upgrade, right? And it'll take you over here. And then you can do a 7-day free trial to see for yourself, or you can do the monthly, which is $39.95. Very affordable, very doable, and it'll take you into here and you'll have access to the server and the watch list. Else every morning, I'll let you know what your position size should be. I'll let you know what the day is looking like based on the pre-market price action. All right, I'll let you know everything in advance, the prices. I'll let you know what contracts we're getting ready to get into, right? So therefore you can have it ready in advance. And then when I send out the trade, right, I come in here, I send out the trade at all affordable, under $130, very affordable for you to get in. And after I send out the trade, I'm keeping you updated, keeping you posted here, and I let you know when you should be taking profit. So therefore, there's no reason why you can't make money. Everything is there for you. Right? What was the other question? Thanks a lot. Thanks for this knowledge, help, and appreciate the help. When we hear your voice. All right, awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys as well. All right, and then have a somebody had one more question. Do you just send text in this? Right now, I'm just sending out the text. You don't hear my voice right now. Everything is just right now text, right? But what I am going to turn it into, I am planning on making it video. So the first hour and a half to 2 hours when the market opens, I'm going to be on video. So therefore, you're able to see everything that I'm looking at. All right. But for right now, it's just everything through text. And then you have plenty of input time to get into these trades, right? I literally give you a heads up, right? So therefore, there's no reason why you would be missing the trades because I'm letting you know in advance. All right. With that being said, I think that was the last question. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. All right. And then have a great night. All right, guys.